Here's another page to look at. AdWords.blogspot.com. This is the official Google AdWords blog, and any major changes are published here, so checking here once a week or even more often will keep you up to date on all the changes the Google AdWords program goes through. It's helpful to keep track of changes regarding anything you're doing on AdWords. Let's close that and go back to our setup. So I've set up the daily budget of $1 a day, and for cost per thousand, let's just choose $1. That's pretty low for cost per thousand. And continue. Now we can review our selections. Campaign name, PDF software. Site targeted. Languages, English. Location, the English-speaking countries including Australia, Canada, the UK, and the US. Daily budget is $1. Ad group name is PDF software. And for now I put in a dummy ad, which I'll change in a moment. Sites. We have lots of sites, something like 260. Now for the sake of this exercise, I didn't look through this list in depth, but I do suggest that you take your time to review them, because you really only want to advertise on very relevant sites where you're confident your audience spends its time. Let's scroll past this and save the campaign. And the campaign is now active. Here we're at the campaign level, and of course nothing is happening yet. No clicks, no impressions, because we literally just went online. Let's click through to the ad group, and let's quickly change this to make this somewhat relevant. We'll click on the ad, and click on Edit. We'll quickly change this to something relevant. Since the software creates PDFs, let's say in the headline, easily creates PDFs. Description line 1, free download of powerful software. And line 2, that creates PDFs instantly. That'll do, and I don't think that's stretching the truth too much. Reading back through it, easily create PDFs, free download of powerful software that creates PDFs instantly, and pdf995.com. And save. Okay, there it is, and that's all done. Now let's have a look through these tabs. The Summary tab is just a summary of the ad group, and nothing has happened so far. Sites, and there's a breakdown by site as you can see. This is very helpful information, and we have 261 sites in total. If you want to show more sites per page, just change the view in this drop-down box. Let's change it to the maximum 500, and they should now all be on one very large page. Let's go to the front page of the Google AdWords account and the Campaign Summary Overview. And there's our site-targeted campaign. I'll just select it and choose Edit Settings just to double-check it and make sure that everything is exactly as I want it. Campaign name, start date, end date in over 3 years, so that gives us plenty of time. Daily budget is $1. Delivery method standard. Ads are running at all times. I want to rotate ads, even though I only have one ad at the moment, and this only comes into effect when you have more than one ad per ad group. I'll put it on rotate, since that's something I'll have to do later anyway if I have multiple ads per ad group. Languages, English, and those are the locations. Save that. Let's click through to the campaign and click the ad group name. Those are the sites. And as you can see, if you wish, you can add additional sites. Click, and we'd go through the whole process again. Let's cancel that. You can also edit sites and your cost per thousand. There are the sites, and you can change the maximum CPM, or you can now use Google's more advanced way of making specific changes. So there are all the sites. If you want to change the cost per thousand for certain sites, for example, let's pick 3D tutorial, and if you add 2 asterisks, then change the CPM for this site to $2 per thousand, and save that. And actually, you'll see that I just made a slight mistake there. My bid is greater than the daily budget. So that's obviously a bad example, and I'll change this to 50 cents per thousand instead. And save. And now this shows that all the sites display a dollar bid except the 3D tutorial, which shows 50 cents. Note, too, that you can select certain sites and pause them if you wish. And those sites should now be paused. If you scroll down to the bottom, you see they're now tucked away at the bottom of the list and show paused status. If we go back to the top of the list and choose our 3D tutorial site again, and delete, am I sure? Yes. And it should now be gone, and it is. That's an overview of how you set up site-targeted campaigns, how you choose your sites, how you set up your advertisements and your maximum cost per thousand rather than cost per click, and once you've got a campaign up and running, how you can see exactly what's happening in the campaign, how you can make some changes, such as changing the cost per thousand, pause some sites, or even delete sites entirely.